Hey everyone, it's bunnhop. We all know that Gravity Interactive opened the pre-registration for Ragnarok Origin on August 10th with a chance to win a real Tesla. Ragnarok Origin is a new mobile game in the classic Ragnarok franchise that is sure to get you hooked with its visually appealing graphics, variety of exciting features, and the sense of nostalgia of our good old RO days. And while it is rumored to be coming out sometime in either October or November in the North American or NA region, we know that many fans from Southeast Asia or SEA also expect Gravity to announce its release in the region early next year. Or at least that's what we're hoping for. So before it comes out in Canada and the US, we'd like to give you a head start by listing down 20 things you need to know before playing Ragnarok Origin. Number 1. It is set in AW 1002. According to the Ragnarok fandom wiki, the timeline of the entire Ragnarok franchise can be broken down into 3 eras. The Age of Gods, which is the period before the 1,000-year war between the gods of Asgard and the Giants, which I think is the first Ragnarok event as described in the cinematic trailer for Ragnarok Origin. After War, or AW, which comprises the years following the 1,000-year war in which the events of the Ragnarok manhwa, the classic Ragnarok Online PC game, and Ragnarok Mobile are all set. And finally, the Age of Man, otherwise known as New Era or NE. These are the years after the second Ragnarok event brought about by the goddess Freya and her followers. The PC game Ragnarok Online 2 is set during this period. From conversations with key characters involved in the main story arc, along with the events played out in these quests, it is evident that Ragnarok Origin is set in the same time period as Ragnarok Online. One of the lead characters in the story even mentions that a certain notable event occurred in AW 781, and in his words, this was more than 200 years ago. Further along the main plot, we read a news article describing the recent events that have occurred and we're involved in, and it clearly states that the year is AW 1002. Number 2. Many characters from Ragnarok Online are also present in Ragnarok Origin. At the Adventurers' Academy, we meet 2 characters who would be familiar to those who have played RO. These are Guide Spraki and Combat Instructor Braid. As we progress through story quests, we meet many others. For the sake of not spoiling your playthrough, we'll just give you a few hints. A particular priest involved with the royal family, a powerful Lord Knight bound to his duty to his kingdom, a former exorcist and her singing son, and a certain wise sage who researches the heart of Ymir. These are the ones I've met so far after finishing 9 chapters of the main storyline. I'm certain we'll find more familiar faces in the future. Number 3. It has many of the memorable maps and background music or BGMs from Ragnarok Online. Can you feel the nostalgia already? Ragnarok Origin has many of the same maps as its predecessor when it first came out, with the exception of the town of Aldebaran and a few fields in between towns. Of course, these maps are much smaller than their original counterparts to fit a mobile game. The BGM for each map is also the same as those in Ragnarok Online, except for the tutorial area and the city of Pantera. There are actually 2 different Pantera themes made for Ragnarok Origin. The first is the one used in their live-action trailer, and is also played the first time you arrive in this nostalgic town. It evokes a sense of grandeur and majesty, apt for the seat of power in the Rune Midgard's kingdom. The other BGM is a more mellow and romantic theme that sounds very similar to the original theme of Pantera, but in a different arrangement. Number 4. It has rich character customization in the form of the closet and mount features. Although the character creation for this game is very limited, as it only allows you to change your hairstyle, hair color, and eye features, Ragnarok Origin does not disappoint with the variety of options for character customization that will make every fashion-conscious gamer's day. The closet feature allows you to store and wear hair, face, and back ornaments, as well as costumes. These cosmetics are available through quest rewards, created by a certain NPC in exchange for materials, and won through costume gacha. Cute and cool mounts are also available once your character reaches level 65. After doing a short quest, you will be rewarded with an animal mount which differs depending on your job. The swordsman class gets a lion, acolytes get an alpaca, mages a fox, thieves a hyena, merchants a savage, and archers get an ostrich. These mounts have to be fed consumables to level up. Reaching mount level 5 allows you to ride a mount, while reaching level 20 unlocks mount evolution. Every time your mount increases in level, your character also gains stat bonuses. Another goal for you is to increase your furry friend's personality traits by feeding them certain consumables. These traits are valor, wisdom, love, activeness, and cuteness. More complex-looking special mounts are also obtainable through item exchange. From the majestic Devaruchi-drawn carriage named Two-Seater Devaruchi, to the spooky yet silly Whisper bookworm aptly called Dr. Whisper, there is absolutely a mount for everyone. Number 5. Capture memorable moments with the camera feature and express yourself with emotes. Ragnarok Origin's beautiful graphics and rich character customization are two reasons to use your camera often. Aside from these two, the importance of using your camera can also be felt in the game's world. Quests make use of pictures, whether taken by camera or derived from someone's memory, to identify key characters in the story and to progress the plot. It feels like Gravity really encourages players to get into the habit of using the camera feature to bask in the beauty of the game and share fun moments through pictures. The camera mode allows you to choose from different emotes, facial expressions, poses and actions, as well as frames. Once you take a photo, you can choose to save it on your device or in your photo album. Emotes can also be used outside of camera mode, much like what we're used to in Ragnarok Online. This makes communication with other players more interesting and interactive. Number 6. Speaking of graphics, you can play in 2.5D or 3D. As introduced in episode 7.5 in Ragnarok Mobile, players also have the option to choose between 2.5D and 3D camera angles in Ragnarok Origin. The former is recommended for those who have grown accustomed to the classic RO view angle, as well as during combat. On the other hand, the latter looks great when in camera mode or just taking an afternoon stroll around Pantera. Number 7. The current level cap is 80, and Rebirth or Transcendent jobs are available. 2-2 job classes are being released one at a time. In the official Japanese Ragnarok Origin, where I'm currently playing, the current level cap is 80 and will increase to 85 by the end of September. Aside from first and second jobs, your character can advance to Rebirth or Transcendent jobs, Lord Knight, High Priest, High Wizard, Assassin Cross, Whitesmith, and Sniper. On its release, none of the 2-2 job classes, Crusader, Monk, Sage, Rogue, Alchemist, and Bard and Dancer, were available in JROO. However, a week ago they released the Monk job alongside its Rebirth counterpart, the Champion. They even have an ongoing event to commemorate its release. Number 8. Like in its predecessor, you also need to take job change quests in Ragnarok Origin. This may sound frustrating at first, but I guarantee you this won't be a pain. I myself had some really tough times completing job change quests in Ragnarok Online. Remember the Q&A portion of these quests? Thankfully, Ragnarok Origin's job change quests are really short and simple. As featured in our latest video, the Archer Job Change quest only has 2 main parts. I've also tried changing into a swordsman and a thief with 2 other characters, and their quests were doable within 5 minutes, or 2 minutes if you just skip all the dialogues. Advancing to both second and Rebirth or Transcendent jobs also requires passing tests. They really aren't time-consuming nor difficult, so it shouldn't be something to worry about. Number 9. There are build guides for various builds, and you can have up to 3 build loadouts. For those like me who aren't confident in their ability to make their own character builds, this feature is quite handy. Once you have advanced to your second job, you will have access to multiple build loadouts. On the right-hand area of your character window, you will notice that there's now a drop-down menu with the name Default. Tapping it will show you 3 options, 2 of which are currently locked. These are your stat build loadouts. Your first stat build loadout is already unlocked because you've been using it all this time. The second can be unlocked for 20,000 zennies, while the third one is unlocked for 50,000 zennies. Tap Recommended Distribution to show build options and set 1 build for each of your loadouts. In my case, since I'm a hunter, I have 2 options: Rapid Fire and Trapper. Once set, your status points will be automatically allocated to the recommended stats based on the build chosen. This goes the same for your skill build loadouts. You can have up to 3 build loadouts and switch between them before doing a party event or before going to Endless Tower. Not only that, you can also see the recommended equipment for each build. Number 10. It has 2 combat modes for ranged and AoE skills, Classic Mode and Double Wheel Mode. If you go to the Settings window under the Personal tab, you will see the option to choose between 2 modes. The Classic Mode is recommended for beginners since it allows you to choose your target area while standing still before using a skill. On the other hand, Double Wheel Mode is for advanced players. In this mode, you can set your target area while moving your character at the same time. This is especially useful for jobs that mainly rely on AoE skills like wizards, particularly when faced with hordes of monsters. Number 11. It has a weather, temperature, and time system. As we've explored in part 2 of our Let's Explore Ragnarok Origin tutorial series, the game's environment changes with the time and the weather. Tapping the small icon to the upper right of your minimap shows you the current weather and time. Tapping the minimap itself shows you the weather forecast for the next few hours. Time doesn't really change much in-world in my experience, except for the obvious: bright during daytime and dark at night. In terms of temperature, it can be pleasant, hot, scorching hot, cool, you know the rest. The most interesting part is the weather. It can be bright and sunny one moment, and then all of a sudden, it's pouring, and not the cute kind. Whenever it's raining, it's so cute to see the NPCs opening their umbrellas so they won't get wet. Rain also brings thunder sounds and lightning. Lightning can strike you, and when it does, your hairstyle changes. Number 12. Leveling up is quite fast, until you hit around level 50. If you progress through the main storyline and do some adventure quests, it won't be long until you hit level 40, advance to your second job, level up some more, and reach level 50. I think this is attainable within a few hours, which is very cool because you actually feel like you're getting stronger in just a short amount of time. And as you level up, new features become unlocked. These range from the Mercenary System and Endless Tower access to various cores and mounts. However, I noticed that when I reached level 50, doing the main story quests along with some sub-story quests and the adventure quests wasn't enough anymore. I found myself having to do daily quests and even monster grinding to reach the level required for the next story quest to become available. It isn't too frustrating yet, but I can imagine how it will be when they finally increase the level cap to 99. Number 13. Take note of your combat time. As with Ragnarok Mobile, Ragnarok Origin also has a battle stamina meter called combat time in JROO. Each day, you get 120 minutes of combat time, and when you run out, you will no longer gain base and job experience, nor will monster give you item drops. You can check your combat time on the upper left-hand corner of your screen, right next to your base and job level display. It's the icon with the two swords. The column on your left shows today's experience bonus. This is carried on from the previous day's combat time if it was not fully spent. The benefit of implementing a stamina meter, as I see it, is that it prevents players from grinding for hours on end. It helps keep them healthy, yes, but from the developer's perspective, it also makes it difficult for players to reach the level cap within just a few days. This allows the devs time to come up with new updates that will keep ROO fresh and make it more fun for everyone. Number 14. The Mercenary System helps with combat, especially when playing alone. If you've played Ragnarok Online, you're surely familiar with mercenaries. This feature was added in a later episode to aid players who prefer to level up alone, especially beginners, and those whose jobs aren't very combative such as acolytes and priests, and brewer build alchemists. 3 mercenary types are available in RO: Spearman, Fencer, and Bowman, and they can be hired for a contract of 30 minutes at a time. They leave when the contract expires, they die, or the character dies. In ROO, however, mercenaries will be with you forever, until you choose to either dismiss them or replace them with another. But don't worry, you can always hire them back. Ragnarok Origin's mercenary system is unlocked at level 20. 6 mercenaries are available corresponding to each of the 6 job classes. Note that the names might change in the NA localization. Raikin, a swordsman, Lilira, an acolyte, Ayumi, a mage, Jono, a thief, Natalie, a merchant, and finally Jesse, an archer who is the first mercenary available to level 20 players. For each of the mercenaries, a recruitment quest has to be completed in order to hire them. These are short and quite easy, and you'll have your first ally in no time. At level 42, you can complete a short combat quest to obtain a license that allows you to hire 2 mercenaries at a time. Upon completion, a window will pop up and show the recommended mercenary pair based on your job class. My recommended pair is Raikin and Lilira. Mercenaries also make use of the auto-recovery device to automatically recover HP and SP. Don't forget to set them. You actually won't because there's a short quest to remind you of this. Leveling up your allies requires old mercenary books. They can also advance to their respective second job classes by completing a job change quest for them when they reach level 40. Under the Equipment tab, you can level up their gears using copper coins. And finally, once they reach level 50, you can assign them traits which increase their stats. You can do this at mercenary levels 50, 55, 60, and 70 using a scroll. Number 15. Ragnarok Origin has many interactive elements scattered around its world. As with Ragnarok Online, you can sit anywhere in ROO. Aside from this, you can also sit on benches both inside towns and out in the fields. On a personal note, I never leave any of my characters standing while I was AFK or alt-tab for a few minutes or while waiting for someone. It just doesn't feel right. I always have to make them sit. Do you feel the same way about your characters? The level of interactivity in Ragnarok Origin doesn't stop there. You can also access secret places by climbing ladders. Sometimes these hidden areas have whisper-like ghosts looking down on unsuspecting people, but in my experience, they're just set design. I couldn't interact with them no matter how many times I tried. Number 16. It has the well-loved Kafra services, and teleportation is a breeze. What Ragnarok game would be complete without the charming and ever so helpful girls from Kafra Corporation? Not only are they ever present, they also offer the best services in all of Midgard. As we know from Ragnarok Online, these lovely ladies offer 3 main services: save point, teleportation, and storage. One thing that's different in ROO though is that they can also be found outside towns. This makes moving from one map to another really fast and efficient. To make things even better, you can teleport to a specific Kafra in every town with multiple Kafra employees present. For instance, if you're out in the field and want to return to Pantera, you can choose to be teleported to the North, South, West, and East Pantera Kafra employees. Another cool thing is that when you're doing a quest and need to move maps, you can simply tap on the quest box. This will make your character walk toward a Kafra, and you don't even have to select which location you want to go to. Tapping the quest box automatically sets a destination for you. Not in the middle of a quest, but want to teleport to another location? Tap the mini-map on your screen to access the world map, then select your destination. A local map pops up and just tap anywhere, or choose a specific Kafra if you're heading to a town. The game's auto-padding feature will do all the work for you, including approaching the Kafra for teleportation service and entering portals. Number 17. NPCs give life to the game. As you may have seen in one of our tutorial videos, I love talking with NPCs. Not only are the major characters a delight to speak with, the ambient NPCs also add flavor to the game. These otherwise insignificant NPCs add life to the world of ROO and also give insight to the culture of various towns, the lifestyle of their citizens, and interesting pieces of lore. Some characters are voiced, although voice dialogues among ambient NPCs are shared by those of the same kind. For instance, multiple male novices at the Adventurers Academy have the following voice line: "Oh, you're an adventurer too? It's nice to meet you." Major NPCs, on the other hand, do not share the same voice dialogues as any other character, although they tend to repeat the same few lines every time you initiate a conversation with them. If you're like me and you have the urge to talk to all NPCs in a game, keep this in mind so you don't waste your valuable time. Any character that's standing or sitting can be interacted with, but not those who walk around a particular area, such as patrolling guards and villagers. Number 18. Animated and cinematic cutscenes add excitement and humor to storytelling. Ragnarok Origin makes use of both animated and cinematic cutscenes. The former is employed in humorous or fast-paced action-packed scenes, while the latter is used to portray legendary events from the past. These visually appealing elements make questing in ROO fun and exciting, instead of going for long dialogues that could potentially break the sense of urgency supposed to be evoked by its quests. The world is in chaos, people are dying, mysterious things are happening all over Midgard. Sitting for tens of minutes listening to an NPC ramble about something that could instead be accomplished within a minute or two by a cutscene? That would break our immersion. So I'm grateful this game doesn't do that. Ragnarok Origin's cutscenes are engaging and really beautiful. Number 19. It has a rich main quest line that ties some of the most significant story quests from RO into a comprehensive story arc. Ragnarok Origin has a well-written main story arc that will get you hooked from the very first chapter. It starts with a chance encounter with an assassin named Rux right after you change into your first job. She is ambushed by unknown assailants dressed in white and donning white masks. This is the beginning of a mystery that is wrapped in even more mysteries. I don't want to spoil anything, but here's how I can describe the main plot in a few words. A detective adventure story with overarching plots filled with mysterious events, tragedy, illegal experiments, cults, kidnappings, a few stealth missions, and, well, the heart of Ymir. It shows the fragile relationship between the 3 countries that share the Midgard continent: the Kingdom of Rune Midgards, the Republic of Schwarzwald, and the religious Arunafaltz states. Many elements of the main questline were clearly derived from some of the most profound quests in Ragnarok Online, so there may be some parts that won't really be shocking to you anymore. But they were shortened and made more cohesive that every chapter can be completed within 15 to 20 minutes, although the later chapters tend to be much longer. These RO quests are connected and woven into one fascinating main story arc that will keep you asking questions and wanting answers at every chapter's end. ROO's main story involves interesting characters with their own unique personalities that will be memorable in the long run. I'm sure you'll develop some sort of affinity with some of them as you progress through the main questline. Sub-stories are also available in between some of the chapters. These are short side quests that give you a deeper look into the characters as well as a couple of events in the main story. And finally, number 20. Adventure quests are fun and interesting side quests, many of which are derived from RO quests. Aside from main story quests and sub-stories, ROO also has adventure quests. These are short 10 to 15 minute quests that either shine a light on the big events in world or give a glimpse into the private lives and activities of some of Midgard's citizens. Some of these quests are totally brand new, such as the funny Baphomet's Footprints, while others are shorter and easier to complete versions of classic RO quests such as Eye of Helion. My personal favorite is Babysitting the Siblings, which is a heartwarming quest about two children, an older sister and a younger brother, who just really miss their parents. Lastly, and I'm just going to leave it here because this really gave me goosebumps, one infamous, probably one of the most infamous quests in the history of gaming, RO Quest, is also available in ROO as an adventure quest. Hint, used to be very long and buggy. Did these 20 things make you look forward to Ragnarok Origins NA release even more? Which one of them do you like the most? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. Please note that the information in this video was all derived from my experience playing Ragnarok Origin on a Japanese server. There may be some inaccuracies or changes when the official English servers come out. There is still so much more that Ragnarok Origin has to offer, so watch out for our next list. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on the bell notification icon below to get the latest updates on Ragnarok Origin. Again, thank you very much for watching and see you on the next one.
Ciao.